All right, welcome into the program, New England Nation Overtime. We are joined by Sophie Weller of the Patriots Wire. Sophie, thanks once again for joining us. Starting to become a little bit of a staple here on the program. Always willing to talk Patriots.
You text, I'm here.
Love it. We appreciate it. Want to jump in. We'll jump into the Pats game in a minute, but want to jump into Mike Vrabel talking to the media when he first comes in. It's usually he goes to Karen Garrigan first, who's great. But this week, and we're taping this, a few days before their first practice for the Bengals, he came to you first. His support for women in sports. How cool is that? And what is it like for you to be on name basis with him like that?
I absolutely love it. I think, like Karen, I think said in her ESPN interview when he did it, that it's a respect thing, and I totally understand that. But for me, it's like I haven't been around as long as Karen has, but he still came to me because she wasn't there today, and that meant a lot to have his support. He doesn't have to do that stuff. He can just let the media throw questions out whenever they want to. But instead, he's going to women. He's supporting the women, and I know the sofa. I'll take it.
No, it's great. I mean, and it's obviously women deserve a spot in sports just as much as men do. So it's great to see that. And it's almost as if he's putting the culture piece with the media as well, like he does with his own team. So very cool of that to happen. We saw that today. He went right to Sophie. First question. So I believe he calls you Soph.
Yes, that's we're on. That's the nickname.
That's the nickname. You're on that level, which is fantastic.
I hope I made Karen proud today. That's all I can say is there's no one better. So
absolutely.
Hopefully I made her proud.
I'm sure that she was. On to the game. Some key breaking news today. Taping this on a Monday. Ja'Marr Chase suspended for one game pending appeal. The Bengals will not be without Mr. Chase. So there's no Chase for the Patriots in the jungle, barring anything. An appeal or anything that's overturned, but I don't see that happening. It was on video. He said it wasn't, and it was very clearly on video. Your take on this, and it just seems things just keep breaking the Patriots' way.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of how I saw it. But at the same time, he did it to himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you look back in week 1 with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter did it.
Yep.
And then, it's not like he sat in the locker room and lied about it afterwards. It's not like he said, no, I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of cameras around you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get away with that. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm with you where I don't see how an appeal will turn that over. I think Ja'Marr Chase is out. And that's huge for the Patriots. Huge. Because that just leaves really T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
And you have one of the best cornerbacks in the league, Christian Gonzalez. So I think the key would be to have at least just Christian with him the whole game. If not, you can even put 2 on him and kind of have him double teamed now without having to worry about Chase. That was probably the biggest scare in terms of going into this game was just the dual threat of Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take one of them away, this should now be the Patriots all the way.
Yeah, and I mean, look, they're already without Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. Then you take away Ja'Marr Chase. I mean, the best receiver in the game, really. I guess arguably, but I mean, it's really just he is an unbelievable talent. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Now you get Christian Gonzalez. You know where he's going to be going on now. He's going to be on T. Higgins. So yeah, no, it's a huge shift in this game, and I think it kind of. I don't even know what's going on in Cincinnati right now with the Bengals. They have almost all this talent, but it just goes back to culture piece and
Mm-hmm.
things just don't seem to be going well there. Your take on the Bengals right now?
Yeah, I think every year you're expecting so much from them, and I think a lot of that does rely on Joe Burrow. But I think a talented quarterback is, let's say, 60% of it. Mm-hmm. But you also need to put the pieces around him. And just 2 wide receivers is a big piece of that. But you also have to give your quarterback time to throw the ball.
Right.
And I think that's been a big issue for them. but also Joe Burrow has dealt with injuries in his career already, decent bit. So, you're also looking at a quarterback who hasn't been out there as much as you would like, and it's just year after year. I think there's so much expected of the Bengals, but they kind of just fall off every year.
Yeah. I mean, and the last 2 years now, I believe last year, I know they didn't make the playoffs last year. The year before, I believe they did. I could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me. But, this is looking like the second straight year that they will likely miss the playoffs. It seems like kind of the wheels are falling off the bus. And it seems as though the Patriots are one of the only teams in the league right now that is playing as well as they are. Like, there's no other team that I see that is playing as well as the Patriots are. And look at the Eagles, right? The Eagles and the Lions, that game, the Eagles only score 16 points. There's no one that's wowing me outside of New England, to be honest.
This is the first year I truly feel like the NFL is as wide open as it is. There's no clear favorites. There's no team I'm looking at and is saying, like, in February you will be in that game. Like, you are the team to beat. There's no team for me like that right now. And that's huge for the Patriots, who are having the success they're having. As is it Robert Spillane who said it, like, they haven't played their best football yet, and he's not wrong. I mean, there's plenty of mistakes happening in these games,
right?
And they know that. And the fact that they know that is, to me, so important, because sometimes you talk about, like, needing a loss to kind of humble yourself. This team is so humble, and I think that's what Vrabel has done, is he's made it so it's like this team mentality. You have Drake, who's getting MVP chance. And now 2 weeks in a row, first it was for Baker, even though it very clearly was not for Baker Mayfield. And now it's for Travion Henderson after and then, so things of that nature, where he immediately will make sure his teammates are getting the credit, or not even his teammates. So they haven't even played their best football yet. And I do believe that. I know they're capable of more. And the sky's the limit for this team right now, as long as they just keep going on the path that they're going on.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually did just look it up. The Bengals made the playoffs in 2022, so they have not in 23 or 24. So this would be the third consecutive year. So I stand corrected there. But yeah, they went to the conference championship. They went to the AFC championship 2 years in a row, 21 and 22. But with this team, it's an underachieving thing. With the Bengals, obviously, Burrow can't stay healthy really for the most part. And you feel bad for the guy because you know how much he wants. I mean, what competitor doesn't want to be healthy, right? So, that's part of it. They haven't had their QB for a couple of those years. And, it's this week it'll play to the Patriots' favor. And, of course, last year they got that week 1 win against them. And Burrow was healthy.
Which was not expected.
Right. That was like, whoa, okay. That was week 1. They went down to the jungle and I love that. I love the jungle part, but like,
but you gotta admit, last year was brutal to go down and get a win like that on the week 1, and then the way that season went.
Tough. That's what we'll end the first segment here on New England Nation Overtime. When we come back after the break, we talk about Milton Williams not going to be with the Pats for at least 4 weeks. We'll talk about that in New England Nation Overtime coming up after the break. Welcome back to New England Nation Overtime. 12 Sports Director Sam Knox here inside of our 12 News studios for New England Nation. We are joined by Sophie Weller once again. And Sophie, obviously the Bengals without Jamar Chase, the Patriots will be without a key member of their team, obviously for much different reasons. Milton Williams on injured reserve with the ankle injury. What Mike Vrabel said today on this Monday, that it would be for the foreseeable future they would be without him. Huge loss for this Patriots defense. How do you see them faring, and who do you see getting an uptick in play?
Yeah, so, I mean, you saw him go out in that game. I will say him going on IR did surprise me a bit, simply because he made such a push to go back in the game. So it really didn't, the post-game kind of update made it seem like it wasn't this big deal. And then all of a sudden I think it was Jeremy Fowler reporting it could be several weeks, and then all of a sudden he's on IR. So the way that happened was a little crazy, and I'm kind of curious. It must have been something popped up after, I'm guessing. But as for who will step up, I think you need a lot more from Christian Barmore. I almost think in a way, like, Milton Williams coming in has kind of like put him in that like background spot a little bit. But now without him, like this is a guy you've also paid a lot of money to. This is a guy who's proved himself before, and I think that this is his time to step up. Kyrus Tonga is another one
The
that will
fullback.
step up. The favorite position on the field right now.
It's great.
He's another one that will have to step up. However, you also do have Eric Gregory, who's playing, Corey Durden's who's playing, Joshua Farmer was out, but as long as he's healthy, there are some guys that are just going to have to come in and step up in these moments. And it's that next man up mentality. That's if there's one thing I've learned in covering this league that is preached in every single season, no matter your record. And Bill said it. I've covered now 3 head coaches. Bill said it, Gerard Mayo said it, and now Vrabel said it. And it's so true because yes, this is your $100 million defensive tackle, the highest paid player in franchise history, but you're without him now, and the expectations aren't going to change result wise just because he's gone. So it's that opportunity for these other players. It's in front of them. Go take advantage of it. Go prove that you could you're worth $100 million maybe.
All right, am I? No, I'm kidding.
Sam always.
If that meant because I'd be a millionaire if I was taking all those steak tips from Gillette Stadium. By the way, they do a great job. They're so good. The game day steak tips. Let's just take a moment here, real quick. The spread that Gillette Stadium has, Patriots game days, is terrific, and I really do shout out to them. I know they who knows if they'll see this on 12 Plus, your smart TV app, but I mean it's unbelievable. Am I right?
It is. They do such a good job.
That's how I would make my money.
I'm stuffed for like the next 5 days when I leave. It's great.
You take lunch for the week. So yeah, going back to Milton Williams, from steak tips back to Milton Williams. They are fortunate that they are deeper in that position than in other positions on the team. You got if you were to tell me like Tonga and Barmore on the D tackles, even if you put Farmer in there or one of the other guys that you mentioned, like I'm okay with that, right? Mm-hmm. But they do have to get more pressure on the quarterback, and I think that's something that's valid.
Yes, I am 100% with you. I think that they were kind of good about that earlier in the season, early in their win streak, and it's fallen off a little bit in recent weeks. So,
yeah.
Landry, I think
Landry hasn't been himself.
Landry was getting to him so easily, and I think that. But Chase on too is one who has, was it 6.5 sacks already this season, something like that. So you just got to get to the quarterback because I think even with Justin Fields, you were giving him way too much time in that pocket to make a play. I mean, you saw what happened when they did get to him in those instances. He made a mistake, or he would, it would be an incomplete pass. But when you gave him that time, so that's definitely something that they're going to have to work on. And I'm sure that's going to be a point of emphasis because as much as, we're talking about Joe Burrow not being out there, the one thing with Joe Flacco that he does really well is sit in that pocket and just throw the ball. You saw it when he first got to the Bengals where they were giving him time and he was just slinging the ball to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and it worked. Yes, he's without one of those guys now, but it's still the same where he can target these guys and just have the time to throw it. But if you put pressure on him, that's when the mistakes come. So they do need to be getting to that quarterback a lot more. Even the running backs, the tackles for losses, I think they only had 1 or 2 in this last game. They struggled with that too. They got to get behind that line of scrimmage a lot more.
Yeah, they do. A team that doesn't really do that well, the Cincinnati Bengals, their defense has not been where they wanted it to be. Let's just yep, it's just not where they want it to be. A really favorable matchup for the Patriots. I do think that with this they can't expect to put up a lot of points. They can't take their foot off the gas just because they think they can go right down the field, right? Like Milton Williams said this once in the locker room. I think you were there in that scrum. He said, those boys are getting paid too. like the other side, right? Like if you're going into a spot thinking you're just going to run down the field, it's not usually doesn't necessarily go that way. That's when you kind of get smacked, right? Sometimes you kind of expect something and then it doesn't go your way. What do you want to see from the Pats offense? Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's so against Vrabel's mentality, though. Everyone thought this Jets game was going to be there. It's an easy win. Mark it on the calendar, like just get it over with, whatever. And it really wasn't at first. I mean, they did get the win, but it wasn't. And if you talk to anyone in that locker room throughout the week, no one was saying it. The only people that were saying it was an easy game was outside. They're like, it's division. Drake's talking about the Jets as if you're going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who are the same record.
Ed Reed's Baltimore Ravens. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a divisional rival. Like this was a team that he was like, this is no easy win for us, and that's so huge to me that no one's sitting there saying that. So I just wanted to add that in because I think the fact that your quarterback of all people is like, we got the Jets. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, and they haven't
with one win, two wins. That's 3 wins. That's a tough one.
And at the start, I'm like, man, they're going right down the field. But then from there, it was kind of evident that Justin Fields really couldn't throw it with a lot of ease, and now he will not be the starting quarterback for at least next week. Tyrod Taylor back in the fold as the starting QB for the Jets. So the Patriots looking good right now, 9-2. Pretty unbelievable to see. It really is awesome, and we say it all the time. But coming up after the break, we will talk more about the Patriots offense, specifically the rookies. Kyle Williams. We'll talk Travion Henderson and the offensive line. Can't overlook them. That's next on New England Nation Overtime. Welcome back to New England Nation Overtime. We now welcome back Sophie Weller of Patriots Wire. Sophie, thanks once again for joining us. And real quick, Andrew Callahan welcoming his first child. He's a member of the Patriots beat. I saw you saw that on Instagram. I just looked, and he is a dad. Congrats to Andrew Callahan, one of the best. Sophie, I know everyone's tight in the Pats. He's great.
I'm so happy for him.
I know. Apparently, the baby's name's Carmela. Beautiful, beautiful. Congrats to Andrew Callahan. Just wanted to put that out there. It's not. Look, the Patriots media is like a family. Everyone knows each other. Everyone knows the family members for the most part. So congrats to Andrew Callahan. Hopefully the Patriots can get a win for the family this week in Cincinnati. Travion Henderson, Sophie. Fantastic. It's what we wanted to see, right?
It's slower start to the season, but who cares when you're looking like you are now?
Terrific. 5 touchdowns in 5 days in that span. And it's not like he's getting too much of the workload. Like he's just taking advantage of his opportunities. A lot of bulk plays, right? Especially in that Tampa game. But yeah, he was tremendous once again, receiving. Found in the back of the end zone. Sure, he was wide open, but hey, you'll take it. Do you think of this is something?
I think the yards after contact too deserve to be celebrated. And breaking tackles. I mean, he is. He makes contact with a player and he seems to get an additional 4 yards or in that push pile touchdown, however many that was.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was testament to the O-line, testament to them, running the ball well with purpose, and it seemed to it worked very well. So if Ramondre Stevenson does come back, well, when he comes back, obviously, do you reconsider load management? Do you reconsider maybe putting Travion as your lead back, or what would you do in this situation?
I don't think that they're ready as much as I think a lot of fans want to see Travion be that lead back. I think that they still believe Ramondre Stevenson is that lead back. What I would like to see is a better balance of the two. Because I think that when it's been, when Ramondre's been healthy, they're giving him 90% of the snaps. That can't happen anymore based on what you've seen from Travion Henderson. You have this insane threat on offense. You got to use him. And I think that there is a balance. I think Travion, you're seeing, again, getting additional yards. Ramondre is a bigger back, and that's important maybe in those short yardage situations. But Travion, so maybe you're using him on later downs, but that first down, second down, that should be Travion.
Mm-hmm.
His speed is unmatched in those situations. And I think that Josh McDaniels, after seeing this, you can't go back to having this guy play minimal snaps on offense and a few on special teams. Now it's time they got to split the load.
Yeah, you'd be doing a disservice, if you didn't. And they know that. I mean, they know that. I mean, they see what we see, and they probably, I mean, obviously they see more than what we see just based on practice and all that stuff. So, what a rookie class that they have, though. I mean, you're looking at the left side of the line too, Jared Wilson and Will Campbell. It's funny because I was having this conversation with my stepdad. He was actually at the game the other night against the Jets, and he's like, people don't really even know who the left guard's name is, and I'm like, once again, kind of a good thing, but yeah, I mean, he deserves his flowers too. Jared Wilson's been terrific.
He also wasn't a guard really coming in. He was a center from Georgia.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, he had experience playing guard, but, he was drafted as a center.
Mm-hmm.
But, Garrett Bradbury, I think, has been better than expected. So they had him move over, and he's had some tough games, don't get me wrong, but the growth from Jared Wilson has been insane. And I totally agree with you. He and Will Campbell deserve their flowers. Will Campbell's proving that his arms are plenty long enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know,
think
right?
That's most important there.
It's funny how that became a thing.
Yeah, he's there's no way. I mean, he's pancaking guys in this league, and so I wouldn't worry about that. But to have two rookies on the left side is so uncommon in this league, and these two are really doing so well together. So no, all the credit in the world to them. Travion, we talked about it. Kyle Williams, I just think something with him and Drake, that communication is a little off. Because his huge touchdown, yes, it was, but if you watch the play, it was mostly Kyle running the ball to get that huge yardage, the shorter pass from Drake. So in that situation, they just need to work on that, because I think they want Kyle to be this deep ball threat, but it's just not there yet.
Right.
Also, what's going to be huge is just getting Kayshon Boutte back too, to have that deep ball threat where it's because this team, yes, they're winning, but they play so different when Kayshon Boutte's out there, or maybe not they, but just the difference he makes is beyond noticeable. So I think that offensively the rookies have done great, and I think that the defensively they deserve their flowers too. This was an impressive draft from Elliott Wolf and from Mike Vrabel, considering past drafts.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, how could you keep Elliott Wolf after last season? And it was something, I believe that, Mike Vrabel said, no, this guy is it. He kept him, and look what happened. I think that you're seeing it. It wasn't all Elliott Wolf's fault last night, and I think he stepped up when he's needed to this year and redeemed him. He should, Patriots fans should be backing off of him.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's rare you see the perfect storm of a free agent class on top of what they drafted and how they're all affecting the team. They really went out and got the right guys and the right people, it seems, for this locker room, and you're seeing it. That's they may not have the most talent in the league, but I mean, we're just talking about the Bengals. I mean, how much talent you're going to have, right? If you're, if it doesn't compute on the field. So, credit to Mike Vrabel, credit to Elliott Wolf, credit to the Patriots for really turning this thing around so fast, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do moving forward. Real quick, Sophie, in about 20-25 seconds, where do you see the ceiling of this team? Not to put you on the spot, but
I'm telling you, there's no team in this league they can't beat based on what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
There's no team I'm looking at that they can't beat right now. So to me, the ceiling go all the way up. But that being said, they have to continue to improve every week and not get complacent with the win total that they have. They need to be looking at the Jets game. Well, we're a lot better team than the Jets, and it should have been a higher scoring. In those situations, look at that. In that case, is to improve. So no, I don't. That's mine. Is that there's no team right now they can't beat.
Roof gone for Sophie Weller. Roof is off, and she's like, the ceiling, there's no ceiling. There's no such thing. Sophie, thanks so much for joining us once again. We appreciate it, as always, on New England Nation Overtime. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm sure sometime down the line we'll try not to bother Sophie too much, but she will be on once again. I know she doesn't mind. But we appreciate it. Thanks once again for tuning in. That's going to do it for this episode of New England Nation Overtime.